Okay guys, what's up? Let's try to go over this very quickly. I've been spending a lot of time on this, too much time on this news today, getting this ready for you guys. So I'd like to go over it quickly, and then we'll just do a news video for today, and then later on maybe we'll do a ICO video or something like that. So, for crypto news, there's always something going on. And for today, we have Bitcoin policies should protect investors, not feed the frenzy. Ex-FDIC chair explains. So, former U.S. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation chairperson Sheila Bair has recently commented that the Bitcoin policies created by governments should protect the investors rather than feed the frenzy over the cryptocurrencies. The opinion comes from Bair's op-ed article published on Yahoo Finance this Tuesday. The former chair further explains that Bitcoin should not be prohibited just for the reason that it has no readily apparent intrinsic worth. And I'm seeing governments want to, prohibit it just because of the fact that it's going up so much in value and becoming an attack or victim for lots of scams, right? Because of the value increase. And people that need money, criminals, people that are desperate, then turn to this basically gold rush and try to scam people, hack people and things like that. So it attracts, illegal behavior, but Bitcoin in itself, there's nothing illegal with it. So in her article, Bair also said the government should ensure that policies covering digital currencies shouldn't feed the frenzy and should not make their own value judgments about Bitcoin. People are, saying that Bitcoin has no value. Well, who are they to say that? The markets obviously have value for a reason. People value it at that, and if someone's paying that for it, then it's worth it. That's the value that the public has given it. So Bair added that the government should focus on making sure that a fair and well-informed market is established, a market that is free from fraud, manipulation, and outside speculation. So the former FDIC chair show of support to Bitcoin is not surprising since she currently serves as an independent advisor and director of several blockchain and virtual currency projects. Her views, however, are still notable due to her stint at FDIC. Growth of Bitcoin blockchain development in India. So 2017 review of India, the goods, the bads, pros and cons. In spite of government's efforts to curb the growth of current cryptocurrencies and blockchain in India, the people of India and the Indian market for cryptocurrencies appear to love them all the more. The year 2017 has been particularly interesting for the growth of cryptocurrencies in India, mainly due to the to-the-moon journey of the Bitcoin missile. Digital currency's rapid price appreciation has sparked a nationwide interest, with the mainstream Indian media going haywire. In December 2017, even as the year was coming to an end, many major Bitcoin exchanges in India, including at least Unocoin and CoinSecure, as per sources, were raided by Income Tax Department, which was allegedly seeking information about the functioning of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We're going to see a lot more of this, especially how Donald Trump just signed off on a budget for the military to look into blockchain. So maybe this is how they do that. They raid exchanges and steal their information. They could have just asked nicely. No Eurozone. Cryptocurrency says Bandish Bank board member. So, Carl Ludwig Theo, a board member of this bank, one of the largest banks in Europe, has confirmed that the Eurozone is not considering a digital currency. He said, digital central bank money analogous to cash is currently not in sight. The statement runs contrary to the previous statement made by Jens Weidmann, the head of the bank, suggesting that a digital currency comparable to Bitcoin could potentially protect European citizens. Yes, it could potentially protect them, but there's a lot of politics and resistance, especially in the banking sector. The European Central Bank had already suggested regulating digital currencies like Bitcoin in spite of previous statements that the government was powerless to regulate cryptocurrencies. Despite the rejection of the concept in the Eurozone, other currencies are still considering governmental cryptocurrencies. Other countries are considering. Russia and Dubai have both begun working towards nationalized digital currencies. And in the past few days, we've been covering other places like Israel and things like that that are looking to create their own cryptocurrency. Let's just hope it's not fiat backed. Well, it might have to be in the beginning. What the fork? New Segwit2X launches with massive Premine, unknown development team. So we went over this in the past two videos we've done in the past 2 days. We were looking into Segwit2X, and we saw yesterday, looking into their LinkedIn profiles, that some developers on their team were not even aware that they were on their team. So, as well as all these LinkedIn profiles being created basically overnight, and making these people look like they have credibility to do this project when really they're from totally different areas. The new Segwit2X, a revival of the original hard fork designed to help with scalability issues of Bitcoin, was scheduled to happen at block number 501451. That block was mined at around 6 p.m. UTC, December 28th, and the team behind the project announced its official launch. So this was yesterday, the official launch. The long-awaited launch of new Bitcoin Segwit2X fork finally took place. First and foremost, the team behind the new fork has nothing to do with the people behind the original New York agreement and the Segwit2X that was canceled in November. They have even admitted it themselves in a chat with the finance magnate's news site. There is very little information available online about the team members listed on the official website. And if you watch our yesterday's news video, you can find the article and some information about what is available about this team. And there is some stuff. For example, the project's supposed founder, Jap Turlo, only has a half-empty LinkedIn profile. There he claims that he is a main developer of the new Segwit2X, with no other sources to corroborate his status as a developer. And the project's GitHub account is just 9 days old at press time, which makes it even younger than some of the earlier announcements of the upcoming fork in the press. So basically they announced the fork and then scrambled to create code for it, or to, copy and paste code. Adding to the list of concerns, the code stored in that GitHub account indicates that the team members were planning to assign themselves 6 million pre-mined coins, a whopping 28% of the total supply. So basically a third of the coins. This kind of, clears up the picture of why this fork is being created. This constitutes an incredible degree of control over the project that some would argue a scrumptious team should not have. Likewise, it represents an enormous and instant potential profit to the team members. This could encourage a quick pump and dump. Very important to know. Paid for press releases distributed to various blockchain-related websites such as Bitcoinist and even the Russian language vc.ru. Well, you know, if they knew they were going to make millions of dollars on this coin they're creating, they could have taken out a loan to pay for, you know, press releases. We're highlighting the tremendous increase in the value of futures contracts of the new Segwit2X, just as some other news outlets have been voicing concerns about the intentions of the team behind the project. So, who knows what's manipulating the price of, you know, this coin? They could be trying to, you know, raise the price. Topping the list of reasons for suspicion is the bizarre promise to issue a proportional number of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins. And when I read this, like, I thought I couldn't understand it. How the hell are they going to give us Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins? How the hell are they going to access the wallet? This is a flat out lie, and this is the biggest red flag to me. You know, it makes me think that they're just trying to do this to get people to, you know, have interest in the project, to buy Bitcoin, to hold it so that, you know, they might get these Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins, and ultimately raise the price and value of Bitcoin, as well as create interest in this project. They don't have to pull through. As we saw with Segwit2X, the cancellation that already took place, they can promise whatever they want and then just cancel it or not pull through. It still creates a lot of hype. No indication has been offered of how the team would actually be able to access the coins that have been held by the mysterious creator of Bitcoin since the earliest days of its existence. So this is on their website, the quote here where they, you know, say, I promise that all Bitcoin holders will receive not only B2X in the ratio of 1-to-1, but also a proportional number of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins as a reward for their commitment to progress. This is a flat out scam. It's what it looks like anyways. South Korean government stressing over irrational, overheated Bitcoin market. And we'll check out that Segwit2X Twitter page to see, you know, some updates after we go over this news. What's happened. To me, it looks like they're focusing more on getting people to mine the coins than actually issuing the coins or, you know, giving people what they promised. So South Korea, we mentioned South Korea yesterday. Exchanges, they were, you know, wanting to shut down exchanges, wanting to ban ICOs. I think they already did that. So Bitcoin's tumultuous December continued this week as the South Korean government expressed concerns at the lack of regulatory control over cryptocurrency exchanges. The country has been at the forefront of massive cryptocurrency adoption this year, and trading in the industry, where arbitrage between exchanges is commonplace because it's worth so much more in South Korea, like thousands more per Bitcoin, because of this regulation, and it's harder to get there probably, right? Harder to turn cash into Bitcoin there. The banks are probably, you know, giving them a hard time. Earlier in December, the South Korean government laid out plans to shut down some exchanges in the country, and they reiterated those plans this week. Bitcoin has recently been trading nearly 30% higher on South Korean exchanges compared to average international rates, according to Bloomberg. Policymakers seem intent on curbing or at least slowing the currency's enormous popularity. Why do governments, just because something's doing so well, it's so popular, it's going up in value, they want to suppress it. In a press release, the South Korean government expressed its worry over what is being labeled as a cryptocurrency obsession in the country. Cryptocurrency speculation has been irrationally overheated in Korea. The government can't leave the abnormal situation of speculation any longer. So it's an abnormal situation of speculation, and the government can't leave it any longer. Sure they can. Plans to wrestle back some control over cryptocurrency trading includes banning banks from providing virtual accounts to cryptocurrency exchanges, what I just talked about. It's happening here in Canada too, after it just spiked a few weeks ago up to $18,000 US. That was when our banks started really cracking down and denying exchanges their accounts and shutting them down. Likewise, the government reiterated its authority to close cryptocurrency exchanges, but stopped short of stating its intention to do so. So they can shut down these bank accounts, and that's why cryptocurrencies are worth so much, because they get rid of this problem. Governments shutting down bank accounts every time their views don't align with yours. But they can't shut down Bitcoin. Market reacts. Given that South Korea is accountable for up to a fifth of the world's cryptocurrency trade, the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum both tumbled on Thursday, perhaps in reaction to the uncertainty created by the government's most recent misgivings. The government's creating FUD. The government, all these institutions, governments, banks are the ones trying to decrease the value of Bitcoin. But it's since recovered slightly. 2018 will determine Bitcoin's long-term role, says early Facebook investor McName. Roger McName, an American venture capitalist and early investor in Facebook, predicted that 2018 will be a make or break year for Bitcoin in an interview with CNBC. You'll have these big swings, ups and downs. In other predictions, once that settles out, I think that it will tell us a lot about the role of Bitcoin long term. I don't think it will be the end of the story either way. In other predictions for the new year, well-known stock analysis Ronnie Mose thinks Bitcoin could hit $28,000 high in 2018. I think it'll hit 28,000 by February 2018, for sure. There's not a doubt in my mind. Like McName, Dr. Julian Hosp, the co-founder of 10x, sees more extreme volatility for the coin, saying the price could reach as high as 60,000 or as low as 5,000 in the coming year. Samsung founder to be fined for storing billions in 200 offshore accounts. Bitcoin's merit. So Lee Kun-hee, the billionaire founder of South Korea's largest conglomerate Samsung, is expected to be fined for storing many billions of dollars in more than 200 offshore banking accounts with the intent of avoiding taxes. So what is Bitcoin good for? Privacy plus financial freedom, penetrating into the 40 trillion offshore banking market. Earlier this year, billionaire Prince Al-Wahid bin Talal was also cracked down by the Saudi government for many charges, including corruption, money laundering, and tax evasion. Prince Talal has been placed under house arrest and requested to pay $7 billion for his freedom. $7 billion! Holy shit! That's why you don't tell people the amount of money you have, because they're going to try to squeeze it out of you. and your fines are based on how much money you have and make. Max Kaiser, the highly respected financial analyst at RT, criticized Prince Talal for his previous condemnation on Bitcoin. In the past, Talal described Bitcoin as a bubble, calling it Enron in the markets. Merely months after his condemnation on Bitcoin, Talal was asked by Saudi government to offer most of his net worth to the government as a price for his freedom. Most of his net worth to the government. Wow. This is why Bitcoin is so important. Which could have been avoided if his wealth was stored in a decentralized store of value. As cryptocurrency hedge funder Block Tower Chief Investment Officer and co-founder Ari Paul explained, Bitcoin is capable of handling offshore banking operations better than the financial institutions that dominate the sector, like JP Morgan. You can basically put your money in an offshore exchange. Paul noted that bank executives like JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon consider Bitcoin as a threat because of its potential to penetrate into the global 40 trillion offshore banking industry that JP Morgan is the biggest player in. Maybe this is why they're so angry, or he's so angry towards Bitcoin. I don't care about it. But then he knows everything there is to know about it, but he doesn't care. He seems angry when he talks about it. As a decentralized currency and store of value, Bitcoin offers a level of financial freedom, independence, fungibility, which means there's no trail of where your money came from, and every Bitcoin is worth the same. There's no dirty Bitcoin that's worth less, or you don't have to pay 30% to launder your Bitcoin to make it clean. So every Bitcoin is worth the same. This is especially true with Monero. Bitcoin not so much anymore because they've been putting a lot of efforts and money into tracking it. Privacy and transportability, which offshore banking systems cannot compete with because of their dependence on intermediates and third-party service providers. Key to multi-trillion-dollar market cap. So this could be the key to Bitcoin reaching that multi-trillion-dollar market cap. Many analysts have stated that Bitcoin price could surpass $50,000 and potentially enter the $100,000 region if Bitcoin can penetrate into the $8 trillion gold market, which still remains the world's premier store of value. And it already has started to penetrate this. Even Jamie Dimon said it's the new gold. However, the global offshore banking market in terms of market valuation is more than 5 times larger than that of the gold market, and thus experts like Paul consider the offshore banking market as Bitcoin's main competition, or vice versa. Bitcoin Platinum created by South Korean teenager as a scam, and this relates to Segwit2X. They're the same type of thing, lots of similarities. So, John Ang and other South Korean mainstream media outlets revealed that the administrator of the Bitcoin Platinum Twitter account and the creator of the project, which is now suspected to be a scam, is a South Korean teenager who allegedly introduced the project to find an opportunity to short Bitcoin in the South Korean Bitcoin exchange market. The teenager then admitted on Twitter from the Bitcoin Platinum account that the project was created as a scam. The Bitcoin Platinum creator wrote, "Please forgive me. Bitcoin Platinum is a scam coin. I created the project to earn 5 million Korean won, or 4,590 US dollars. I think he made a little bit more than that off of it, probably. South Korean government's plan. Last month, a $200 million Ponzi scheme was unraveled. Bitconnectors, be cautious, beware, which targeted middle-aged investors. Now, this was not Bitconnect, but the same thing could happen to Bitconnect. The operations of the Ponzi scheme established a Bitcoin consultancy firm in Seoul, lured in investors in the market, and offered unrealistic profit margins, claiming that their money would be invested in Bitcoin. And there is a lot of uncertainty with these Ponzi schemes, especially, you know, the biggest one out there that we mentioned. Even some promoters have stopped promoting it and things like that, because there's just, it's not, you can't be certain that it's going to last. You can't be certain that it's going to be here at the end of 2018, especially with, you know, governments cracking down, and you know, it's definitely being noticed. So as soon as it creates enough noise, usually something happens about it, and it's definitely creating noise. So ultimately, the 5 individuals behind the Ponzi scheme were arrested as investors requested a local police department to investigate into the scam many months after they did not receive any payouts from the operators. Similar to BitPetite, I had a couple $1,000s in BitPetite when they decided to shut their website down and take everyone's money. In the upcoming months, the South Korean government and its cryptocurrency task force, formed by 5 ministries and commissions, including the Ministry of Strategy and Finance, will create policies to regulate the South Korean cryptocurrency market. The upcoming regulation is an effort to crack down on scams and fraudulent operations such as the $200 million Ponzi scheme. How much is Bitconnect worth? At least 200 billion or something like that. We can go to CoinMarketCap and find out, but mentioned above, and most recently Bitcoin Platinum. Next, Segwit2X. The CEO of a UK-registered Bitcoin exchange has been kidnapped in Ukraine. Okay, this is our last story and the most shocking. So, the CEO of a Bitcoin exchange was kidnapped. I wonder why. He has, you know, ability to give them all of the money in the exchange. That's probably what they're thinking. The CEO of a UK-registered Bitcoin exchange has reportedly been kidnapped in Ukraine. Paul Lerner was 40 years old, was reportedly dragged into a black Mercedes-Benz by men in balaclavas while leaving the Kyiv offices of his company, Exmos Bitcoin, on December 26, according to local media reports. So Exmos Bitcoin Exchange. The exchange business is registered in the UK and also has a presence in Spain, Russia, India, and Thailand, according to The Telegraph. Russian-born Lerner lists a Kyiv address for correspondence. According to filings with Britain's Companies House, he is listed as a person with significant control of Exmos Finance, which runs Exmos Bitcoin. And, you know, speaking of Bitconnect, you wonder why the creator of Bitconnect kept himself anonymous. They have probably a lot more, you know, money available than this Exmos exchange. Supposedly 22nd biggest exchange in the world. Shortly after the incident, Exmo tweeted that it was facing a disrupted denial of service attack intended to disrupt its exchange. So maybe this is just, you know, when you kidnap someone, you try to pressure them into giving up information. This is probably part of that. You know, they're threatening them to take down their site, things like that. Who knows? Exmo is under the DDoS attack. The site will be available within half an hour. We apologize for the temporary inconvenience. Sincerely, the Exmo team. Exmo spokesperson told BBC, "We are doing everything possible to speed up the search for Pavel Lerner. Despite the situation, the exchange is working as usual. We also want to stress that nature of Pavel's job at Exmo doesn't assume access either to storages or any other personal data of users. All users' funds are absolutely safe," and they would say this anyways, even if it wasn't safe. The details of learners' kidnappings are unclear, but the cryptocurrency world has become a magnet for hackers and criminals looking to make easy money, like I said. And this is not good for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because the governments do have to do something about. They can't just let this go on. Or they can. They seem to not care about these types of things too much. They let them happen. You know, they don't stop these things from happening. Kidnappings are always going to happen. You know, theft is always going to happen. Bitcoin has skyrocketed over 1,500% against the dollar during 2017. Its rapid rise has been mirrored by other cryptocurrencies. As a result, cryptocurrency exchanges and others who deal with high volumes of cryptocurrencies have become targets of hackers trying to rob them. Look what happened with McAfee, John McAfee. Cryptocurrency Tether was hit by a $31 million hack early this year. You know, nice hash recently. Ubit got hacked twice in 2017. So, and researchers have found evidence of growing interest from North Korean hackers in Bitcoin. Exmos was first registered in the UK in 2014 and claims to have close to 1 million customers globally. So they have probably a few $100 million in their exchange. According to his website, it is the second largest exchange globally by volume, according to industry data source CoinMarketCap.com. And we're basically done now. I just wanted to mention this world's richest 500 see their wealth increase by $1 trillion this year. Ultra rich warned of strike back as globally inequity hits a 100-year high, and billions of poorer people see their earnings stagnant. So if you don't want to be one of those poorer people, get into cryptocurrencies, because it helps your wealth grow and not just give you you know, a salary that is never going to get you ahead. And I just wanted to show one thing here really quick. So this is Bitcoin, the Segwit2X official Twitter. You can follow me and find all these. I'll share all these official Twitters with you when we talk about them. This is their announcement. So it was launched. They're asking you to contribute to the development because they have no developers. They switched their mining pool to the mainnet. They're saying a lot of miners supported Segwit2X, and a lot of pools have been formed. Since we can't guarantee the reliability of these pools, we organized official Segwit2X mining pool. And there's the link. And then they're saying the world speaks about us. Even Russian president candidate noticed Segwit2X. And, you know, with all the other things they're just saying, pulling out of their ass, like the fact that they're going to promising you Satoshi's coins, who knows? This could be right out of their ass too, because I can't read it. Looks like, you know, they've got a graphic designer. Supposedly no developers. And then Bitcoin Segwit2X team is launching its own crypto wallet. They haven't launched, I don't think. They're launching. Actually, they might have launched it. So they have a wallet here, Segwit2X wallet. I'm interested to see what's different, if the fees are a lot smaller or faster transactions. I really don't think so, but we'll have to wait to find out. There's not a lot going on right now. Supposedly Binance is issuing it. They supposedly had futures, but I've yet to really hear anybody that has received their Segwit2X. This is Exmos. So here's their official statement on learners' abduction. And this is what the exchange looks like, if you were wondering. Yeah, there's less people that trust it now, I'm sure. There was 1 million, now there's not. So, their official statement here, if you want to read it, I'll throw it down below in the links in the description. So that's about all, guys, for today. I might do a video this evening, and if not, we'll catch you tomorrow.